Good morning, everyone. This is the Lovewell team. It's happy, let's see, today is July, that's July, good. About January 19th, January 19th. I'm okay, the world's all right. It's all good. So today we are honored because not only do we have Louise and Katie, but we also have Bill Jarvis. And Bill Jarvis is our wonderful loan person, and he's going to tell us all about the interest rates, which are going crazy, which is totally different than like even a month ago. So Mr. Wonderful Bill Jarvis, take it away.
Well, yeah, rates are very different than a month ago. And we were supposed to have this last week, and they're a lot different than last. I had to throw out all my notes from last week because they've gone up again. So, I mean, historically, rates are still fantastic, but they're higher, much higher than a month ago. The conventional loan, most loans now are conventional loans. A loan amount up to $647,200 is at 3.5%, and it wasn't long ago that was below 3%. So pretty big change. But that 647,000 is a much bigger number than it was in 2021. That went up. That was the biggest one-year increase in the conforming loan amounts. So over 90% of the country, that 647,200 is the maximum conforming loan. In our area, we live in a high balance area, and the high balance loans went all the way up to 970,800. So almost $1 million now is a conforming loan in Alameda, Contra Costa, and the other immediate Bay Area counties. That rate is a little higher. That rate, so between 647 and 970, that rate is up to 3.75 now.
Oh wow!
And I'm not sure where that's going to stop. The rates have been, not even slowly. I mean, they've been going up almost every day a little bit. I think a lot of people think the rates sometime by summer will probably be 4% or in the low, 4.25%. And I think most people think that's about where it's hopefully going to stop. And then some people speculate they're going to come down a little bit to maybe about to where they are now. There aren't a lot of people thinking they'll come back down into the twos again. But so I think, for this year, we'll be somewhere between where we are now and a little bit higher. And hopefully things just move a little slower than they've been moving the last couple of weeks. FHA loans, rates have gone up on those too. Their FHA loan is 3.25, and then there's a high balance FHA again up to 970,000. That's at 3.375. So still pretty good. And then the VA loans, either the conforming or the high balance, about 3.125. So if people qualify for a VA loan, that's still probably the way to go. That's a very good rate, and the VA loans don't have mortgage insurance, so pretty good. But so the big change I was going to talk about last week was mostly the new loan amounts. But this week, I mean, the rates have definitely gone up, and I think most people think they're going to continue to rise a little bit more.
Okay. Well, thank you, Bill. That was very helpful.
Welcome. All right. Well, have a good rest of your meeting.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Bill. Bye.
So
Wow.
yeah.
I was trying to digest that. So yeah, I mean, from literally a month ago, they went probably from, I don't know, 2.75 to whatever they are now, but that loan amount was a big deal. I mean, going all the way up to 900 for the conventional.
Yes, which is definitely helpful because prices have been going up quite a bit. So that is going to help some people, but of course the interest rates make it more difficult for people to buy a home because now their monthly payments are going up. And we have, buyer, not our buyer, we're representing the seller, but the buyer who's buying the home, the interest rates are going up, and that's, putting pressure on him and making it more difficult for him to close a transaction. So we're having to work on that with him.
I was going to ask Bill, but then I kind of lost it. I forgot. I'm wondering, can they still, I'm assuming they can still lock the rate, lock the rate, you know, lock
Yeah,
the,
that's a key thing for this one buyer, because his rate was locked in December when it was lower. So he has to pay some money, but it's definitely worth it if he can keep the lower rate, because you see that rates are going up. So we'll see how that affects prices, because there was a slight, slowdown in August and September of last year. But then in most cities, not all, and Louise can talk about this more, prices have been coming back up. And then that's also with the seasonal kind of slowdown with low inventory, it's been putting more pressure. I mean, we keep having buyers that, are bidding on homes, and then we find out what other buyers are bidding on them, and there's nothing in the area that is sold for that much. And we're like, oh my goodness, it's definitely a little bit nutty right now with the buyers because of lack of inventory. And but we'll see, what happens with, because typically more homes start coming on the market in January. So hopefully that will help ease the tensions, and with interest rates going up, hopefully help level off some of these price increases.
Yeah, and it's interesting in piggybacking what Katie was saying, because I have been showing to this one buyer, and he's pretty much a non-contingent buyer because he had cash, but he's competing against, this property that he was going to bid on yesterday, they had 4 offers, and the agent said they were all non-contingent, which is amazing. It's amazing, which I'm assuming that some of the people maybe still had to get a loan, but they were just like saying, we'll get a loan no matter what.
Yeah, we'll buy the home. And if we get even a loan denial, we'll find another lender, or we'll do whatever it takes to make it work. It's pretty, I'm kind of shocked. It's just like, it's definitely a tricky time for a buyer. For sure. Louise, is there anything else you wanted to add regarding to what you're seeing with?
Oh, in regard to like how the home sales are doing, I just kind of pulled from the computer the 4 cities: San Leandro, San Lorenzo, Castro Valley, Hayward, and the number of solds, it seems to be pretty well, it's kind of interesting. Like here's an example. San Lorenzo, this year in December there were 23 sales. Last year, 21 sales. The year before was 20. The one that was kind of like really off was San Leandro last year. Last year had 73. The year before had 36. This year had 38. So it's interesting in the year of the COVID that there were that many sales in December. I don't know, kind of crazy. But both of those, the charts show that the market is just kind of still a little bit on the upswing because there's just not a lot of inventory. In Castro Valley, in December, there were 34 homes sold. And again, a year ago, year of the COVID, there were 47 homes sold in Castro Valley. So rather interesting. It had a little bit of a drop thing, but again, the inventory is still really low in Castro Valley. In Hayward, kind of the same kind of thing as the other cities. We had 80 homes sold in December, near 19. In December, there were 85. Last year was 103. I don't know what.
I think maybe a part of it, because of COVID, that was when people started getting vaccinated. So people started maybe feeling more confident in what was going on with the pandemic and feeling like they wanted to buy a home. And where I think for a lot of 2020, people were uncertain what was going to happen. So they might have been more hesitant. Because I remember there were big price increases in January. So I think there was definitely like a big January and February of 2021, definitely a big demand that picked up. And I think it may have corresponded with people feeling better about what was going on with the pandemic, with vaccines happening.
Probably in kind of like going on with that is think about it, that maybe since March, April, May, things were kind of sluggish because nobody knew what was going to happen. The people that were going to sell or wanted to buy just kind of held off. And that's why maybe in December there was that huge bump.
Right. And again, right now we're seeing another, I don't think it's, well, again, we'll see if it's another price increase that's similar to last year, where it's just a big increase. And again, where appraisals became an issue, but things did calm down after a few months. So hopefully we'll see something similar to that again.
Yeah. So anyway, I think that's it on my part. We're definitely ourselves, our team, we're seeing that we're going to be having more inventory coming in the spring, in the next couple of months. And hopefully that'll be true of others too, because if there's more inventory, and even if the interest rates went up a little bit, it might have moved some buyers out, but maybe the buyers that are left can buy, can still buy, because there's not maybe quite as much competition if the interest rates went up. Kind of like a balancing act.
Definitely. So we'll see what happens with this next month.
So that's it for me. This was a happy Martin Luther King week. I guess everybody can now get their tests, right? Online.
Yes, you can order those through the government website.
I think we're entitled to 4.
Correct, each household.
Yes. So happy week. Everybody stay safe, stay well, wear your mask, be careful. That's it for me.
All right. Have a great rest of your January, and we'll talk to you again in February.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.